Howdy again, everybody. This is Doc from Thoroughfan coming to you with the name behind the race, and I am currently up at beautiful Saratoga Springs, New York, here for the week and the Woodward Stakes. And I am actually on the Oklahoma side, the training track here, the Oklahoma training track. It is a wonderful area to come and watch the horses work out in the morning. Hopefully everybody who's up here has a chance to do it. You might be able to see behind me the Whitney viewing stand, which is open for people to come out, get a nice bird's eye view of all the horses working out in the morning, potentially see some of the trainers, maybe even see a couple of really famous horses too. So definitely come and check it out. I did mention I'm up here for the Woodward, and that is actually the race that we are going to feature this week. And well, the race has both quite a history in the horses that have run in it and won it, as well as who it's named after. And I'm about to explain both of those as we once again look at the name behind the race. Born in 1876 to an already wealthy family, William became interested in the racing game at a young age before going off to law school. Despite obtaining a law degree, the profession never really intrigued him, and instead he decided to travel abroad for a while, even becoming the secretary to the U.S. ambassador to England, Joseph Choate. It was during this time that he also attended some of the biggest races in England, further growing his passion for the sport. He turned to banking after his return to the U.S. and worked under his uncle, James T. Woodward, at Hanover National Bank. When James died, William inherited not only the bank, but also the large Bel Air mansion and stud in Maryland from his uncle. The Bel Air estate was originally owned by Maryland Governor Samuel Ogle. He helped bring over some of the first stallions to stand in America from Europe in the 1700s. It was the purchase, with the help of Arthur B. Hancock of Claiborne Farm and some others, of Sir Galahad III from France to stand at Bel Air that really allowed Woodward's career in the racing business to take off. Woodward was the breeder of the horse that would soon be called the Fox of Bel Air, Triple Crown winner Gallant Fox in 1930. He also would have the distinction of breeding the only Triple Crown winner ever sired by a previous Triple Crown winner, when Gallant Fox's son Omaha won the crown in 1935. He bred 101 U.S. stakes winners and even 4 European champions. One of the last champions he bred was the mighty Nashua, who had a stellar 3-year-old season in which he won 2/3 of the Triple Crown and beat Swaps, who bested him in the Derby in that famous match race for year-end honors in Chicago. Woodward was not only successful in the breeding business, he also had a profound impact on the racing industry as a whole. He was chairman of the Jockey Club from 1930 to 1950, and during that time was instrumental in helping to create the Grayson Jockey Club Research Foundation and one of the oldest and most prestigious races for 3-year-old fillies, the Coaching Club American Oaks. Being well respected in England as well, he was responsible for finally getting them to repeal the Jersey Act, which had made it impossible for the General Stud Book to accept American horses as purebred thoroughbreds. He remained very active in the racing business right up until his death in 1953, when the entire operation was passed on to his son, William Woodward Jr. For all he had done in the sport and industry of racing, Woodward is inducted into the Racing Hall of Fame in 2016 in the Pillar of Turf category. In 1954, the Woodward Stakes was created to honor Mr. Woodward as well. It has been run at all 3 NYRA tracks and at distances from 1 mile to 1.5 miles, with it being at its current distance of 1 1/8 miles since 1990. There have been so many amazing and memorable renditions of the Woodward Stakes over the years, but 3 particular renditions come to mind for me. The first was the 1980 edition, where the Great Spectacular Bid faced off against, well, no one in the Woodward. It was the first walkover in a major race that took place in over 30 years.
Well off the rail.
The second
out there
is the great stretch battle between Ghost Zapper and St. Liam in 2004, after both ran through absolutely torrid earlier fractions.
Here comes Ghost Zapper, well out in the middle of the track, and he's got an air lead. St. Liam is right there with them. They're going at it head-to-head at the top of the stretch. 5 lengths back to Bowman's Band, and Seat Gold is fourth. Into the final furlong, St. Liam is running a huge race today and appears to brush with Ghost Zapper in mid-stretch. 1 mile and 33 and 1. Ghost Zapper and St. Liam in a wild Woodward. They're coming down to the line, and it's a photo finish that Ghost Zapper wins by a zop.
Still
and the third was one I was personally at, and cannot even put into words the emotions and feelings we all had that day as Rachel proved how great she was in the storied stretch of Saratoga in 2009.
They're coming to the top of the stretch. It is still the filly in front. A dramatic stretch drive awaits in the Woodward Stakes. On the outside, here's Bulls Bay and Calvin Morrell imploring his filly for more. And Rachel Alexandra holds on to the lead. Bulls Bay is second. Macho again is making a tremendous run for the back of the pack. Rachel Alexandra, Macho again. They're coming down to the finish. It's going to be desperately close. Here's the wire. Rachel won. She is indeed Rachel Alexandra the Great.
Yes, the legacy of William Woodward will live on for many, many years to come, but we hope some of his words in regards to this great sport will as well. For in closing remarks to the Maryland Historical Society at a gathering in 1921, he stated, "Let me leave a parting word with you. Do everything you can to protect the thoroughbred. Be advocates of sport, true and clean, good for those who participate, for those who look on, and for those who read about it. For in this way the cause of the best of animals is promoted and is protected. Cherish the thoroughbred and love him for his many-sided and stalwart character. It is worthy of your affections."
Well, there you go, everybody. Everything you potentially wanted to know about the Woodward Stakes, some of the really amazing results that we've had in this race through the years, as well as really some of the great racehorses that have won it over its long and distinguished history. We also looked at a little bit of William Woodward himself and the amazing breeding operation and racing operation he had and some of the great champions that he campaigned throughout the years. That's about going to do it for this episode of The Name Behind the Race. As I said, I'm going to be up in Saratoga for the Woodward this Saturday, so anybody who wants to come by, check me out. You'll see me wearing the pin hat as always. We'll talk some horses. We'll find out what made you really interested in racing and hopefully get you a little more involved in Thoroughfan. If you happen to have a race that you're curious about the name behind, drop us a line here at Thoroughfan. I'd be more than happy to research it for you, and you never know, it could end up on a future segment. I am Doc for Thoroughfan, and we will see you next time on The Name Behind the Race.
If you're an incredibly passionate thoroughbred racing fan and want to find a whole bunch of people that are just like you, why not check out Thoroughfan at thoroughfan.com. Sign up to become a member, get our amazing weekly newsletter, and learn everything and anything there is to know about this amazing sport we call thoroughbred horse racing. Thoroughfan, giving the fans a voice.